Welcome to today's episode where we delve into the complex dynamics of narcissistic relationships and the profound impact they have on individuals. Narcissistic abuse is a severe form of emotional, psychological, and sometimes physical maltreatment that can drastically change a person's behavior and self-perception. This transformation often results in what is known as reactive abuse, where the victim exhibits behaviors that are uncharacteristic and may even seem toxic. Our focus today is on understanding these behaviors not as reflections of your true self, but as natural responses to extreme circumstances. 1. Paranoia. When entangled in a narcissistic relationship, individuals often find themselves trapped in a relentless state of hyper-alertness, giving rise to a profound sense of paranoia. This heightened paranoia is not merely a fleeting concern, but a persistent, overwhelming feeling of being perpetually threatened. It emerges as a direct consequence of the narcissist's systematic and insidious tactics to erode the very foundation of trust and security that underpins any healthy relationship. At its core, this paranoia is the brain's defensive response to an environment saturated with emotional and psychological peril. The narcissist, through their patterns of deceit, manipulation, and betrayal, creates a reality where the victim can no longer discern truth from falsehood, sincerity from deceit. In such a destabilized state, the mind, striving to regain some sense of control and safety, becomes excessively vigilant. This constant vigilance is an attempt to foresee and forestall further emotional harm, to detect hidden threats in every shadow, every word, and every action. However, it's crucial to understand that this paranoia, though distressing, is not a flaw in one's character or a sign of mental instability. Rather, it's a testament to the human psyche's incredible capacity for adaptability and survival. In the face of relentless emotional turmoil and danger, the mind mobilizes this heightened state of alertness as a shield against further psychological damage. It's a coping strategy forged in the crucible of ongoing trauma, a reflex honed by the necessity to endure and navigate through a landscape where emotional landmines are a constant threat. This form of paranoia, induced by the corrosive nature of a narcissistic relationship, is fundamentally a resilience mechanism. It's an unconscious protective mode activated by the brain to guard not just against the immediate dangers posed by the narcissist, but also to buffer against the deeper, more insidious erosion of self-identity and autonomy. It is, in essence, a survival instinct, activated in response to the sustained assault on one's psychological boundaries and self-concept. While this paranoia may feel overwhelming and all-consuming, it's important to recognize it as a normal, natural response to an abnormal and unhealthy situation. It's a signal of the psyche's enduring strength and its unyielding will to protect itself against ongoing emotional harm. Acknowledging and understanding this response is a crucial step in the journey towards healing and recovery from narcissistic abuse. 2. Deep insecurity. Narcissistic abuse, a form of psychological and emotional manipulation, can profoundly affect your self-perception, leading to a significant erosion of self-esteem and confidence. This insidious process often manifests in deep-seated insecurities that deeply embed themselves in your psyche. These feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt are starkly different from the narcissist's own insecurities, which they typically suppress or project onto others. Your insecurities in this context are not intrinsic flaws or weaknesses. Instead, they are the direct result of a systematic pattern of belittlement, betrayal, and manipulation by the narcissist. Through a relentless series of undermining comments, actions, and gaslighting, the narcissist chips away at your sense of self-worth. This persistent devaluation can make you question your worthiness, achievements, and even your perception of reality. Unlike the narcissist, who often denies their insecurities and projects a false image of confidence, your insecurities are an honest, albeit painful response to being undervalued and treated with contempt. They are a reflection of the psychological trauma you have endured, a mirror to the relentless emotional assault that has challenged your core beliefs about yourself and your place in the world. This loss of self-esteem and confidence can manifest in various ways. You may find yourself second-guessing your decisions, feeling undeserving of love and respect, or believing you are fundamentally flawed. It's important to recognize that these feelings are not accurate reflections of your true capabilities or value. They are, instead, the scars of emotional wounds inflicted by the narcissist's behavior. Understanding the origin of these deep-seated insecurities is a crucial step in your healing journey. Recognizing that these feelings are a natural response to unnatural treatment can help you begin to separate your true self from the distorted image reflected by the narcissist's abuse. Remember, these insecurities were planted and nurtured by someone intent on controlling and diminishing you, not by any failing of your own. Your worth and capabilities remain intact, even if they've been temporarily obscured by the shadow of narcissistic abuse. 3. Aggression. Experiencing increased levels of aggression or irritability is a frequent and understandable response to enduring narcissistic abuse. This heightened state of emotional reactivity is often rooted in post-traumatic stress, a psychological condition that arises as a direct consequence of prolonged and intense emotional trauma. This stress response functions as a psychological shield, an instinctive effort by your mind to guard against further emotional harm and violation. The aggression or irritability you experience in the wake of narcissistic abuse is far more complex than mere anger. It encapsulates a range of deep-seated emotional responses to the prolonged injustice and mistreatment you faced. Beneath this surface layer of anger lies a profound well of sadness and grief. This grief is for the loss of the sense of safety and trust in relationships, for the personal boundaries that were repeatedly crossed, and for the emotional damage inflicted by the narcissist's actions. Describing this emotional state as sacred rage captures the intense, almost hallowed nature of this reaction. It is not merely an expression of uncontrolled anger, rather, it is a powerful, visceral scream for acknowledgement and help. This rage acts as a defensive mechanism, a natural response to the repeated violations of your emotional well-being. It's as if your psyche is standing up to say, enough, a forceful rejection of further abuse and a call to be seen and heard in your suffering. This sacred rage, while intense and sometimes overwhelming, is a clear indicator of the need for healing and recovery. It signifies that your emotional boundaries have been breached far too many times, and it is a rallying cry from your inner self to seek restoration and peace. Recognizing and understanding this rage as a valid and rational response to the trauma you've experienced is crucial. It's important to view this not as a sign of weakness or a character flaw, but as a potent signal of the deep emotional wounds that need care and attention. In essence, the experience of heightened aggression or irritability after narcissistic abuse is a testament to your psyche's resilience and its attempt to protect you from further harm. It's a powerful indicator of the need to address and heal from the underlying trauma, to acknowledge the deep grief that lies beneath the anger, and to start the journey towards recovery and finding peace once again. In conclusion, these reactions, paranoia, deep insecurity, and aggression, are not indications that you are the narcissist or that you are inherently toxic. They are understandable, human responses to the extreme stress and trauma of a narcissistic relationship. Healing from this abuse involves recognizing these traits as trauma responses and working through them, acknowledging that they do not define your true self. Remember, these reactions are common and expected under such challenging circumstances. We hope this discussion brings insight and aids in your healing journey. If you find this content helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. Let's continue the conversation in the comments, and until the next episode, embrace your path to healing.